On Book Chat today on Wake Up Nigeria is Ezinne Kufre Ekanem, a prolific author who has written Up You and many other books, of course. This is it. Up You. It's so good to have you in the studio.
Thank you, Mary. It's actually very nice to be here.
Awesome.
Good morning, Nigeria.
This is quite an interesting read. And the first thing that struck me when I opened the book was the content. I kept seeing up, 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 up.
That's the only way to go.
And I'm like, how was she able to keep up with all these ups? So you won't get it until I actually break it down for you. So it's stand up, sign up, soak up, shake up, show up, speak up, stack up, sit up, stock up, shoot up, scale up, and serve up. At some point, I was looking for snack up because
I know, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure we can find somewhere to fit it in.
Yeah, we should. Maybe after serve up, yeah, snack up. All right, so let's talk about all these ups. But before we talk about the ups, what informed your decision to write this book?
Okay, basically that's the philosophy that I used to live my life. I was invited to speak at a women conference.
Okay.
And this was basically what I shared about them. Life is all about going upwards, forwards, you know, and I shared it and it resonated with the audience.
Okay.
And I decided, you know what? Let's put it in a book form so that many people can get to see it and read it. Every day we wake up, we run. Thank God this is Wake Up Nigeria. So every day we wake up,
yes,
we run.
that wasn't there though. Okay,
Wake
so
up.
Wake up.
Up wake, maybe.
Up.
So every day we wake up, we run, right? And so we're running for something. We're either running forward, we're running upwards. So why don't we just break it down into very simple ABC kind of principles that somebody can just take and remember. These things are quite memorable. You remember stand up.
Yeah.
You remember show up.
Of course.
So if you're feeling in dumps, show up. It doesn't matter how you feel, just show up for that cause. Show up for your life, show up for your dream. Stand up, stop staying on the floor. I mean, life has beaten you. Yeah, but stand
to get
up.
up.
So, you know, when you think of those things, they stick in your brain and it helps you to just go on with life.
Okay, so here's what we're going to do. Because the way you've said it, I can just imagine someone watching and some of the things you just said as stuck. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to take it one by one, starting from stand up.
Okay?
So your quick take on each one. So stand up.
Stand up. Look, you've been there for a long time. You know, I mean, when a child is born, all we pray is, okay, so the child begins to crawl. After you crawl, we want you to stand up and begin to walk. So you've been there at that point in your life for a long time. It's time for you to make that decision because, seriously, Mary, it's a decision. You make that decision, I'm going to stand up. You just stand up. Don't do anything else. Just stand up. The fact that you have decided to stand up, you'll find that the universe will move for you. And then you figure out what to do next. So stand up. If you're listening to me this morning, just get up.
All right. So when you stand up, you sign up.
So when you stand up, remember I said it was a decision. So when you stand up, then you now sign on the dotted lines of life. I am here and I'm going to make a mark. I am not just going to be a statistic. She was born, she died, and then there's nothing in between. You know, because that's what happens to some people.
Yeah.
You came, you died. Nothing in between. So you sign on life. I am here, and you recognize that I'm here.
Wow. Okay. So soak up.
Soak up. So you begin to soak up everything, you know, and then so you just take it in like a sponge, yeah? And you begin to just build on your mind, build on everything, because the resources you need at the end of the day are all inside of you.
Absolutely.
So when you now begin to soak up those things with a broader mind, a positive mind, you find that everything you think is against you may not have been against you. Then you can actually rearrange them. And then you can run with the things that you have.
Using
and once
them to
you're
your
soaked
best
up,
advantage.
you never go back to where you were coming from.
You never go back to where you're
Never.
sitting.
Never.
Now that you've stood up,
Never.
signed up, and
You're soaked up. Yes.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you're full. So you're going to go somewhere to dispel.
All right. It is the spelling part of shaking up. Okay, so what's shake up about?
So shake up is when, you know, because now you're soaked up. For everything that you've soaked up to be inside of you, some things have to go. Some relationships have to go. Some associations have to go. Some places you used to go to, you just have to let go. You know, so you shed some habits, then you, they learn, relearn, unlearn process.
Yeah.
That's what happens at that stage.
All right, so that's where you shake it up. Now show up.
Come on now, you're ready. By the time you do all this, you're ready. So you come to Wake Up Nigeria and you say, hello, Nigeria, this is me.
Because you're ready to show up.
Because you're ready, so you show up. But then again, on that show up point, that's when we say to you, you show up in season and out of season.
What's that about?
Whether you like it or not, whether it's convenient or not, but because you now understand who you are and where you want to go to, you're not going to let circumstances affect you. You show up regardless.
Wow.
Maybe you woke up today and there was no light in your house. You could have said, oh, there's no light, I'm not coming to work. But you didn't. I said, if you woke up today and there was no light.
And that's what I said, you say?
Exactly. So that's a distraction. So you leave it there and then you show up regardless.
Show up regardless. I really like that one. Speak up.
Like
reminds me of that program as children.
You know?
Speak up. Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. So
exactly.
what's speak up about?
Speak up means
that was actually speak out. But yeah.
That one was speak out, yeah, but it's the same thing, kind of. So speak up means have your say. You've got a voice. You know, sometimes people say, I don't know what to say. You know what to say. Just say it. What can go wrong? They will say, oh, you didn't make sense. But you made sense to yourself. Because remember, it's an audience of one first before you begin to gather a tribe or a community. So speak out, speak up, make sense to yourself, and then you go sell whatever it is you're speaking about to a broader audience. And then you see, when you don't speak up, nobody hears you. Nobody knows what you're about. And so nobody is coming to patronize whatever it is you're doing or selling.
Because you have to actually advertise. And that's when you speak up, because you're showing what you're about. Wow. Okay, let's talk about stack up.
Aha, so that's when that's actually what up is all about at the end of the day, because that's when you stack up the accolades, yeah? That's when you stack up everything. See, validation has to come from within you. Yeah. See, so when you begin to validate yourself by stacking up the things you've done, you know, so you make a wall of accolades for yourself. Oh, so Ezinne, I achieved this. So Ezinne, I did this. So Mary, this, that. On the days you don't feel like it, because there are days you wake up and you're not feeling sunny side up, you look at your stacked up accolades and you say, girl, I got this.
Yeah.
And then you move on and then you stack up some more.
I love this. Okay, so sit up.
Come on. So you see, the thing that happens is that when we get to that stack up point, we begin to believe our press. So they're hailing you because you're stacking up, and they're hailing you and you're beginning to believe it. And so what happens is you become complacent. So what happens is when you now have hit that peak and, you know, everybody's talking about you, that's the time to actually sit up. Because to whom more is given,
more is expected.
Thank you.
Yeah. You just reminded me of how the reward for hard work
is bigger work. Yeah.
Okay, so sit up. You need to keep the momentum
constantly,
up more like.
Constantly, yes.
All right, so stock up.
Aha, so when you sit up, then you now see where the deficits are, because there will always be deficits. And then you go and stock up again. So it's either you go back to school, you go for mentoring, you go for, you know, coaching, but you just do what? You restock. You know, when, like a business person like I am, so when your stock level is going down, you go top up.
Yes, you buy more. Okay,
so you stock up.
Shoot up.
Of course, by the time you stock up, it's like a seedling. You start all over again, and then you just...
So you go through those processes again, or scale up.
And then you scale it, because now there is a system. Okay, so you run it through a system. And so you know that, of course, success is you doing something over and over again and getting incremental results. So you've tried the whole processes, the whole principles, from standing up to this point, so you run it again. This time on autopilot and see whether it really works.
Same as serve up.
Serve up is when you now finally have done everything. You begin to give back.
Wow, what a way to end it.
You begin to give back.
And that's what up you is. Yeah, so what about wake up?
If you don't wake up, you can't do any of this.
So get out of bed already as we wrap up this segment this morning.
Oh my God.
Thank you so much. This is such an interesting book. For you to get details, just check out Up You by Ezinne Kufre Ekanem. And it's a very interesting read. It's like a life guide, really. Thank you so much for your time, Ezinne. Thank you so
Mary.
much.
Thank you.
It was nice going through the process.
Yes, and you just made that really nice. I like the way you handled it. Thank you very much. It was nice being here.
At this point, we've got to take a break. We've reached the top of the hour. Just stay with us. We'll be right back.